Hey, welcome back, Mr. Smith Garage. We are here in the garage with Lars, the EuroVan, running just fine so far, from what I can tell, but got a few things still to work on. I know that the passenger side window, something's wrong with the regulator and the window attachment, so we're gonna have to take off that door panel. But we also need to take off this door panel, because you can see I've got the door handle, but it is not installed in here. And there is some interesting way that it is installed in there. I've seen a couple videos, but I'm going to show you kind of what I'm going to go through to remove this door panel. So I think from what I remember, there should be a screw right there, but you can see that there is not. Somebody's taken that out already. Oh, this is another reason why we need to work on this. Can you see? Oh, it's too dark. Yeah, this is another reason why we need to take this door panel off. We need to fix something that somebody did in here. You can see I got quite a few wires that are worn and some that are broken. See that yellow one back in there? So we need to kind of pull this apart and see how we can fix some of the stuff. I know the window switches work, but I don't think the mirrors do. All right, so here we go, digging in. This needs to come off. This needs to come off, and look at that. They're already off. This needs to come off. Go. You need to pull this off. Because I know there's screws underneath this that we need to get to. There we go. Aha, 1, 2, 3. I think there's some screws behind this that we needed to get off. Speaker thing off. Oh, look at that. That was easy. We might want to see if we can get this replaced. Try not to ruin these monsoon speakers. Easy. 1, 2, 3 screws back there. Those are some big screws. Other screws. I don't think there is. So I think, it does come straight up like that, huh? Now I just have to see what wires we need to take off so you can see what's going on back here. So I got some wires we got to get off so that we can put this down. I think they've had problems with this before. You know, basically, they've probably broken this before because of how difficult this is to get off of there. I tell you, it's been sitting. You've heard this before, but basically, this vehicle has been sitting on a squirrel mound for who knows how long, getting baked by the sun. So we've got a few pieces here that are broken. I'll have to see if there's a way we can clean that up a little bit, but we got the wires off. You know, and really I want to see how this thing goes back together. I have a feeling Alright, I'm gonna go set this down somewhere else so it just won't break on me. You're missing out on everything that I'm doing. Let's see. So, this, I did find a way that this goes in, but the spring must hook, the spring must hook behind the metal bar. Hard to say. I do know the way this goes in is like that. But the spring's gotta go back. Spring would go inside somewhere. From the back side. You can kind of see that spring probably hooks on to the door handle. I mean, the probably hooks onto this rod right here. Wires. Wires, wires. Let's take a look at our wires here. So these are all of our mirrors. The top ones would be the mirrors. These ones would be the windows. So probably the orange one is for the passenger side window. Black one is for the window on this side. And I can see that it looks like there's quite a bit of work done in here. Kind of interesting, huh? This is our window regulator. This one works, so I don't really want to mess with it too much. Door locks. Huh. You don't want to lose that. Get that out. That's a little pad that goes on there. You see it goes on the door, so you don't want to lose wherever that went. Okay, got my long grabbers here. See if we can get in here and figure it out. Yeah. Got it. Oh yeah, we even got, you know, if you look even deeper in here, we got, see that red wire is completely eaten or frayed. Okay, we might have to take out this whole loom and see which wires we need to redo, which means that we're gonna have to pull down the whole fuse block, which I've seen Twigs do it. Twigs T4, he did something where he brought down the whole thing. Oh, I remember it was something with a, I probably should unplug the battery if I'm going to do this, huh? Alright, I'm going to unplug the battery. Top of the morning to you. It is early, because it's cool. It got hot again. Yeah. Northern California is such a funny weather. Anyway, so just so you know kind of what I'm doing, I do have the battery disconnected. So you can see, and I got this holding it off of the positive. Just okay, I think so. Last time we were here, we've just taken the door panel off. So we got that off. Found a bunch of pieces down at the bottom. A bunch of these little rubber pieces were off and down at the bottom, so replaced those. Those are just to keep it from vibrating and making noise. I found this piece at the bottom, and for some reason it just looks like it fits right there. I've pulled the loom, the wire loom, from the door, so you can see this went over across there. This is for the this one's for the speaker down here. And then these all unplugged from their various positions. Window regulator, I think the mirror, these ones went up to the mirror, and then these ones went to the window controls. But you can see I've got quite a few broken wires. And I thought they were eaten or chewed on. But as I kind of dug in here a little bit further, it looks like somebody's been doing something in here. So there's a bunch of these crimps, and then there's a couple of wires you can see deep in there that are actually completely severed. There's a bunch that are just dry and cracked. And so my goal, as you can see, was to get to the loom, which is here, and then unplug from its various plugs here. And I was doing it from up underneath this piece, which is here. And I realized, you know, I should probably take that off. So in order to do that, there was a plastic piece here that kind of fits underneath this rubber. So there's two clips on the side of it that you pop out, and then this comes out. And then there were two bolts here on this large piece right here. And then there was a bolt up underneath that went to the back side of it. And then you just had to kind of rock it a little bit. There is a stud or a plastic stud piece that kind of goes into this little hole up here, but you just kind of rock it back and forth and it comes down. Gave me way better access up here. You know, this whole fuse block thing, I have to kind of be careful of my wires because apparently they're dry and cracky. It hangs in this hook and this hook here. There's these little plastic clips that you push back off of the thing. See, there's one right there too. And then you just unhook and bring it straight down. And that gives you access to this massive fuse block, which, you know, there's actually even some fuses way up high here that, like, how do people even get to those unless you take this piece off? So, but what I'm looking for now is in the back. I am looking for probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 maybe plugs to unplug. And then you can see where this loom, the black tape piece, comes through. I'm going to try and pull the whole loom out and see which wires need to be redone or not. So as you can see, Lars is, again, quite a project, but we're working on it. Looks pretty overwhelming, but I think once we find the clips that are the correct clips coming off of this singular loom that comes from the door, we can unclip it and then hopefully pull it all out, take it to a table somewhere and stretch it out for you. Okay, that's where I'm at. Okay, so pulled this piece out. This is just I guess just some kind of I guess it's got threads because it felt like it threaded out, but maybe it's just a push in. But basically I need to pull this carpet back. So it looks like I might need to undo this. I found all the connections. So it goes from, on this side, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 connections on the door side of the loom. But going into this piece of spaghetti wire, there was only 1, 2, 3, 4 connections to that loom. And then there's a ground wire. You can see that ground wire right here. It's going down back behind here. So I need to be able to get behind here. So where, oh, it grounds, see where that bolt is right there? Hopefully you can see that. So I don't have to take the bottom piece off. I'm just gonna reach in there with a wrench and undo that ground, and then that gives me access to the whole thing to be able to pull out. Maybe I will take this off just to make it easier. That means I need a Phillips screwdriver. It's funny, I walked over here with really very little tools. I think just with these pry things to kind of pry things back, and then I ended up going over and grabbing different sockets, wrenches, a flat screwdriver, but I had not had a Phillips screwdriver yet, so now I do. Okay, Phillips right here. I'm just gonna pull that out. There was somebody's little piece of something there. I just don't want to lose that screw in there. There we go. That gives me a little bit better access to what I'm doing back here. So you can see that's the ground wire I need to take off for the door, the bottom one there. Let's make sure there's no washer there. And then I'm just going to put that nut right back on there. Okay, so now the brown wire is free. And I should be able to pull this whole thing out here. Voila! Success! So, let me just show you what we're talking about here. This is the mess that I have to fix. So you can see I got quite a few wires that are broken. I'll use my, and then see right here even. I don't think those are chewed. It just looks like the vinyl that's around the wire cracked on those. So I'm just gonna, everything up on this side looks good, and everything pretty much down here, well no, there's some cracked ones down here too, so I'm gonna have to set this out on a table and work on it. But this will be definitely be a process to work on and fix. So we'll be back once we start working on it. Okay, so I'm here on the table. You can kind of see what we got going here. I got my heat shrink tubing. I've got my solder seal wire connectors. I've got a bunch of new wire. And then I've got my wiring loom. I looked this up. I could find it on Volkswagen for, it was like $900 or something. And then I found it on eBay for $60, but nobody has it in stock. So they've got the EN in stock, which is the right side door, but not the left side door. So I'm also watching a couple of rabble rousers here. There's Zero, there's Mary, and they're keeping me company while I'm doing this. So anyway, what I need to do is, most of my problem doesn't seem to be on this side. It seems to be from here out. I did see some repair kits that look like they came from here out, but I'm going to just try to do some of my own repairs, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully we'll find all the right wires that go to all the right places, and we'll go from there. All right. Okay, just now finishing this up in here. I didn't film a lot of this just because it's basically just looking at each wire, seeing that it's cracked. Whether some of them I taped because they were just minute little like heat cracks. Some of them I actually put together with my solder seal wire connectors. And so if I did a solder seal connector, I actually put these over them, so just to seal them off. And then I went back and kind of kept wrapped all the wires in electrical tape. They had this original soft electrical tape on them, but some of them were peeled back, and so I tried to get it so that the main core of everywhere is covered, and then I also used zip ties to kind of keep pieces in so that they're I guess, more together. And then if the tape comes off from the heat, at least it's got something in there to hold it all together. I think there's only one major wire that I replaced, and that was the wire going into the window regulator. It was black. You can see it right here. It's the big black one on the back of this one, and it went into the original red wire, which goes all the way down to the other side here. And it had a crimp here, and then it was also really chewed up in the middle, probably just from like being twisted or whatever. And so I ended up just cutting it kind of in the middle back here, putting a new red wire into the black wire, and then solder sealing it on both sides. Just felt like that was probably a stronger connection. But basically, we're done with this. I just got to reinstall it, test it out, and then I'm going to have to figure out what to do with the door panel, because I've got a couple of pieces on that door panel that are cracked, and I'd like to clean it up a little bit. I don't want to buy a new door panel because I think they're pretty pricey. But if there's a way that I can kind of mend a couple of the spots that are cracked, that'll be probably the next thing. So putting this thing back in shouldn't be too hard, because once I figured out how to get that front piece off from under the steering wheel, it made it a lot easier to kind of get back there and find what I needed. Hey there, welcome back, Mr. Smith Garage. It's been a while since I've worked on Lars EuroVan. It's earlier on this feed, but so we're gonna just combine it in, or we're doing some stuff on Lars. You can see he's got, there's some dirty stuff, but right now I know this window, you can kind of see it moves around a little bit. So one of the things I'm going to do is take this door panel off. I did that door panel, redid the whole wiring loom for it, pulled fuse block down, pulled the cords out, and so I had that out and I took a couple pictures, I think, in here of me redoing the loom. Didn't bore you with a whole lot of detail on that, but I do need to take this one off. Window switch works. I still don't have the mirror adjustment over on this side working. You click, but I'm not sure if that mirror has a connection, so I'm going to look at that and then look at this. Okay, so I took these 3 stainless screws out of the mirror, and see there's quite a bit of dirt and grime in there, but I think here, let's see if I got where's my flashlight. There it is. I see how you can get this thing out. It looks like those 2 little clips will pull up and over, and then it maybe allows you to get the mirror out of there. I'm going to get the vacuum some of this junk out of here, and then we'll see if we can pop that off. Okay, all that stuff is sucked out of there. Let's see if this little hook device will actually work for what I'm trying to do here. Thing here with a hook on it. And a little thing here with a hook on it. So we'll see if that'll actually, let's see if we can keep the light on there for you. Not sure if that's what that does. Oh, maybe those are just the springs. Well, but if they're the springs, maybe they hold them in. Kind of looks like this whole thing would clip out of there, doesn't it? That looks melted right there. But these pieces... I see some rust in there, so... Let me take a look at it from a different angle here. Okay, I probably didn't catch that, but basically there's these little clips right around here that you could pop this whole thing off of here, and this is the mechanism that moves everything. Kind of just looks a little, doesn't look like the wires are bad, but they could be. So I see a couple of spots where this whole mechanism is screwed in, and it could be that it's just corroded just enough. I don't know. So we're gonna, while it's off like this, I'm gonna turn the key on and see if the mirrors do anything. Okay, so you're gonna hear an annoying beep because I've got something going on. In fact, if anybody knows maybe what's going on the dash here, it has to do with. Oh, let me turn off the music here. Okay, so I know the brake. I think the brake blinking, the ABS, and that little triangle. I think that's called the ESP. Those all have to do with something on the brakes that I need to figure out. The other ones is just because I have the light on right now. So let's see what goes on here. Oh, did you hear? It's trying to do something. But it's not moving. I wonder if it's just when I do the button down, I get some kind of a little click that's trying to do something. So there must be something going on in here that's not happy. So maybe we'll take this whole mechanism out. It's got kind of some rusty screws here and there, and we'll see if we can clean up all the contacts. I think one of these wires are for the mirror defroster. I think that's a defroster for the mirrors. I mean, just gonna try this side over here, see if it's funny. I've switched to this other side. It's still clicking on this side. There must be some kind of a solenoid in there that's trying to do something. Just isn't happy with whatever it's doing. Alright, so we're going to pull this mechanism off. So, fancy little doodad. This, oh, there's my locks working. This is quite a mechanism here. You gotta remember that's the top. Oh, it's got it right on there, top. Also, this has patents in Italiano, in Japan, in British, and other patents applied for. Made in Holland. And it was nice that I could take all these wires out, and they have, like it tells me, white goes there, black goes there, brown goes there, and blue goes there. So, if I can't get this thing to work, at least I know that it is something that can probably be gotten from somewhere else. So what we're going to do is I cleaned it up with some electric cleaner. See that on the ground down there? And kind of sprayed it all out, cleaned all these contacts. I'm going to plug them back in, and then I'm going to see if it works. Maybe you could see what's going on. Maybe not, but at least it's close. You can see me, and that's sometimes all that matters. So black goes on the bottom, white goes on the top. Good, and then on this side, blue to the bottom. And brown to the top. I'm going to show you the back of that so you can see it does screw into there. And now what we're going to try and do is set your camera up so you can see me doing my thing. Okay, camera in the down position. There we go. Gotta turn the key to on. Ah, you can see that little thing is trying to move. But it is not moving. Not spinning. The motor is not spinning. Okay. Not sure why it's not working. Oh, now it's working when I'm going up. Let's see if I can get it good side to side. I don't feel it. Well, now moving up and down, it's weird. Oh, you know what? Let me move back to this side. If anybody's worked with this mechanism, let me know, and we will look for that in the comments. I think the other thing, remember, please, if you know anything about the brake blinking, ABS, and the little triangle, if you let me know anything you know about those three lights, those are the only ones that stay on after I start the vehicle. So check engine light goes off, battery light goes off, EPC goes off. Thanks for joining me with Smith Garage. I am going to try and upload this video. It's got like some of the door panel stuff, and that way maybe I can get some comments from you on what's going on with the mirror. And if I solve it before the next video, I'll throw in the solution for you. Thanks for watching, and thanks for subscribing.